Good morning, Beachbody champions. I am over here in Hawaii time. It is 7 in the morning. I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'm so excited about this call. I wrote down some thoughts that I think are really going to make a difference in your business. So I cannot wait to dive into it with you guys. So I'm going to give it a second for you guys to pop on. I will kind of share a little bit about my background and my story if you guys don't know who I am. I am Courtney Duinker, and I have been a coach for just over 4 years now, which is just crazy to say. It goes by so fast when you love what you do. Hey, Amanda! And I have built this business in like 7 or 9 different countries around the world. My husband plays professional basketball, and he just retired early. Yay! And we just settled down here in Hawaii. So we've been here for 2 months now, and just kind of trying to find our feet and build community, which is a huge blessing for us because it's something we've been missing overseas. So Beachbody has been such a blessing to me personally because not only have I been able to stay in shape over the years and in all different countries, but I was able to build this incredible friendship with all of these amazing women. Katie and Amanda, some of my girls, and Martha, some of my girls, and it's just been such a blessing for me as I've lived all over the world. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about how to hook, line, and sink your dream team, which sounds like such a weird little saying, but I think it's super important to understand that you are capable of finding your dream team. You are capable of finding those best friends in this business and running with incredible leaders in this business that will actually be your lifers. And I just felt like I was in a place as a new coach where I didn't know if I really believed that. And so that's my very first point. I have 6 points that I want to walk through on how to find your dream team, how to get them on board, and then what to do with them afterwards. So for me, the first thing is going to be belief. Do you truly believe that you specifically have a purpose as a coach? And I want you guys to answer these questions in the comments below. Like, do you genuinely believe that you specifically, you as an individual, not your upline, not your best friends, but you as an individual, do you genuinely believe that you have purpose as a coach? Do you believe that you are worthy of being chosen as a coach? This is the belief aspect, because regardless of what I share after this component, if you don't have belief first, none of the skills, none of the knowledge, none of the know-how or the tactics will make a difference in your business because it's not coming through an avenue of belief. You have to believe first. So do you have a purpose as a coach? Do you specifically think your story put out there on social media is going to change the world for the better? On a small scale, on a large scale, whatever scale, do you believe that? And then do you believe that you're worthy to be chosen as a mentor or coach by whoever's out there? Maybe you're in this sea of, well, there's so many Beachbody coaches and I don't know that I have value. Why would they choose me if they could choose one of the top 10 coaches? You can't compare where you are at to where someone else is at. You have to believe, if you want to find your dream team and you want to work with your dream team and be like so blessed by the leaders on your team, you have to believe that you're worthy of being chosen, and you have to believe that you have value to give someone else. You have to believe that on a coach level, not just a fitness level. Obviously, we have incredible programs. I was on the call with Amalia Caesar. I still have to work on his name, but I'm so excited about that because he's an NBA trainer, and it's the first program that my husband will be committing to with me because he is an NBA trainer. And so I am so excited about the level of our programs, the intentionality of our trainers, and the qualifications and experience that they bring to us and the products they bring to us. You can't have a better company and a better opportunity of products, right? So the belief might be there on the fitness side of things. Maybe you've already had incredible results, but what then? Do you have belief as a leader that you personally can pioneer a team forward? Because if you don't have belief, again, nothing I say after this is going to matter. None of the things I tell you to do are going to matter if you personally don't believe. So that's step number one. You have to believe 1,000% that you can change someone's life. You have to believe 1,000% that you are worthy of being chosen, and that you have to have like shoulders back and being like, I am a leader worthy of being chosen in this position. And I'm going to lead with that confidence, because that confidence is going to come forward, and that person is going to be attracted to that confidence and say, I need to work with her. It's all about positioning. Step number two is going to be your unique voice. So once you have the belief component and you feel like, girl, I am like as confident as they come, awesome, I'm so pumped. That's amazing. And if you're not there in the belief department, then Rachel Hollis's last 90 days is a great place to start. You're writing down what you're grateful for, you're writing down your dreams, and you're writing down how you're going to get it done. That's a great place to start with belief. But the second thing is going to be your unique voice. Who do you want to help? Who do you genuinely want to help in the business, not just in fitness, because they can look totally different. I sign on girls in the fitness component who maybe don't really have a routine and who need my consistency to keep them going. Whereas in the business, I came into this for the business. I was a past athlete, and I was like, look, I'm ready to roll. I want to make 6 figures. I want to be a top 10 coach. Whatever that looks like, I am here for this. And so I felt like I was attracting more girls that were looking to get rid of student loan debt. They were looking for a place to belong. They were looking for a really specific purpose. So you have to understand, who do you want to help and what's your mission statement? You have to know what you have to offer. So once you believe that you have something to offer, then you have to figure out what that specifically is, because then you can communicate it so simply through your posts, through your conversations, through your leadership on your own team. And that's really going to pioneer your team forward. It's going to help them move the needle forward on their business. And so I want you guys to do an exercise with me. You can do this right now or after the call, whatever you want to do, but I want to see it. And I want you to comment a screenshot of your exercise in the comments once you complete it, okay? So I want you to draw on a piece of paper. I don't know if you guys can see this. Just like a line across here and then a line down the middle. And on one side, I want you guys to put who you were before coaching. Who were you before coaching? All aspects. You don't have, like, nothing is off limits. You can talk about your finances. You can talk about your relationships. You can talk about your mindset. You can talk about your fitness, all things before coaching. Then I want you, this line represents that decision to move forward into coaching. And I want you to write down on this slide, what is changing? If you haven't been a coach for very long, you can say what is changing. And then if you've been a coach for a while, I want you to talk about what has already changed and what you expect to change on that side of the column. And that is where you are going to find your unique story and your mission statement. And then that is going to play into and flow into your social media posts and your IG stories when you're talking about coaching. So that's the next step, is you have to be talking about coaching, right? So when you do this exercise, you're going to be able to tell a story through your unique experience, where you were before. So you're identifying and relating to where someone might be today, who's following you. And then you're painting this story and you're telling this picture. You're painting this picture and telling this story of who you have become or who you are becoming, and how that there is because of coaching and that transition, that decision to say yes to coaching. And so when you make that story and you can be able to put that in a post, people are going to be pulled in because they're related to on the level of who you were before. And then they're going to see this aspiration of who they could be and who they could become, what's possible for them in your own story, because you have identified your unique pain points, right? So it's kind of like a pain point or a pleasure point. Which one are you trying to identify? And you want to write down a list of all of the things so that you guys have content to pull from. I love sharing pieces of my story. I don't share it all at the same time, but I share about my student loan debt and how coaching really helped me get through that in the first year. I would have been in debt forever. I thought debt was normal. It doesn't have to be normal. And so I'm relating to someone that has debt and is sitting in that place, but then I'm showing her what's possible if she were to say yes to coaching. And I don't have to specifically say, I'm looking for these fitness coaches. Like, your dream team is going to have the same pain points as you. Your dream team is going to see the the potential in this opportunity like you. So you have to be able to communicate that efficiently, right? So then the third step is going to be massive action. You can build through and find your dream team through your boot camps, or you can build through and find your dream team through coach mentorships. I think you can do both at the same time, but it's really important to understand like where you came from. I personally came into the business for the business and fell in love with the products as I went, because I saw the potential in the business and I knew that I loved working out, and these were great programs. So it was a win-win for me. But it's important when you're taking massive action to find your dream team, when you're inviting, when you're building out, your sneak peeks, when you're doing your boot camps, really identify where you came from, because your potentially best coaches can come into the same thing because they're going to see this business opportunity the same way that you see it. Most likely, not always, but most likely. So have a game plan. If you rocked your fitness journey, get in the boot camps and let them be the very best aspect of your business, and then pull your coaches, build future rock star coaches in your dream team from that boot camp. Figure out a way to get them doing the activities of a dream team coach, and then tell them you're doing exactly what a dream team coach does. This is exactly where I came from, and I want you to take the same step that I took and become a coach. And if you came in for the business, then operate your sneak peeks from the same lens that you needed to see the potential in this business, and kind of work around that and build into the basics into your sneak peek, so that they're getting that experience and seeing, wow, coaching is exactly what you're saying it is, and I want to be a part of this. I want to do this. Okay, so you guys having sound issues? I hope everyone can hear me. The next step, so massive action. Again, I'll loop back into this with my final point. But the fourth thing is going to be inviting to, so once I am inviting, you're taking massive action, you're sharing your story, your storytelling, so you have these people that are drawn into your same story. The next step is going to be obviously inviting. When I'm doing coaching, and when I was talking about coaching at the beginning of my business, I went from the invite to a generic kind of like little what is coaching video that I had made that my whole team could use. So it was generic enough to our team where anyone could use it. And then I jumped on a one-on-one phone call. So I wanted to share that because you don't have to do the same thing as your upline. You don't have to do sneak peeks. You don't have to do, whatever. You can do a phone call. You can do a Zoom call. It can look however you want it to look. I personally did one-on-one phone calls. And the reason that I did them is because I felt like they were more intentional. I felt like I could get personal with that person on the phone, and that person would feel an instant bond with me. And so this was before I had a lot more conversations happening. So I was able time-wise to take 15, 30 minutes and have one-on-one calls with coach prospects. And it just worked super well for me. So if you're not doing that, maybe throw that into the mix. I think that that really made a difference in finding my dream team. And so then with the phone call, so after, oh good, you guys have sound, that's great. I don't know why you guys can't hear it. That's weird. Let me know if there's like a major issue and I'll have to come back or something like that. But so after, on your phone call, I ask 3 questions. This is how I do my phone calls. They've already watched something about coaching. They already know the basics. I don't need to ask that, tell them, oh, coaching is X, Y, and Z. I don't need to do that because the video covered that content. So they've watched the video. I ask them, what made you curious about coaching? What attracts you to this opportunity? So that's question number 1. You start with excitement. Question number 2 is going to be, what questions do you have? Now let's get into the nitty gritty, because I've kind of heard what got you excited. So you're in an excited place. Let's get into the nitty gritty of their questions, and I field their questions and I relate to them. I don't just boss them around or tell them facts. I relate to them. And then number 3 is I'm finishing with a question of, I know you probably want to spend time thinking about this or having a conversation with your spouse, but on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, where do you feel like you fall after having this conversation? 5 being like, I am ready to go. Let's make this happen. I'm ready to sign up. And then that way I can really gauge their interest, and I schedule a follow-up with them. Okay, in 2 days, I'm going to reach out to you and see where you're at with that decision. I'm really excited to get you on board. So I have a plan and process, and I'm leading that prospect through the decision-making process, and she's not having to wonder where everything is at. if that makes sense. I'm guiding her through the whole thing so she knows what to expect from me, because this is totally new to her. I'm the boss. I'm the captain. I'm in the driver's seat here. So I'm taking the bus where it needs to go. So I need to have confidence in my process of bringing on that dream team list. So once you have the person basically signed up, you need to have a game plan for what comes after their sign up. And I think it's important that every coach on an individual level has a personal game plan for their coaches and doesn't just take what their upline gives them, because I think all of us have different audiences and networks. I work with my mentor who is a mom. Well, my audience, most of them weren't moms at the beginning, so it didn't really fit for what we were looking for. A lot of the girls needed to rock Instagram. And so I had to take that initiative to figure out a game plan for my audience that was going to help them move forward, not just here's generic, let's see how it works type of a thing. That's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? So I had a game plan. And the reason I suggest having a game plan, like, okay, as soon as they sign up, what are you going to do? What are you going to send them? Are you going to have a call with them? Are you going to wait to have a call with them? Are you going to get them taking action? Are you going to send them training videos? You need to have a game plan, and you need to make it duplicatable for your downline in case they are like you. And the first few months of their coach experience, they want to utilize what you've given them or what you've provided. So I think the reason a game plan is super important is because you want to have confidence. I know the majority of my coaches that are not adding business builders to their business, those coaches, they specifically don't have confidence in what comes after the coach says yes. That's usually where they struggle, is they're not inviting because they're afraid of what is going to happen when they say yes. And I'm like, that should be the exciting part. Like, you can literally even tell them, be human, look, we're going to figure this out together. You're my first coach. This is so exciting. We're going to do this arm in arm, and we're going to the top together. So make sure that you work through a game plan. I would suggest writing something in like a Google Doc and then sending it to your mentor if you trust her and you feel like her business is in a place that you want to be. I would send that to her and be like, hey, what do you think about this onboarding process? Here's kind of my, first 24 hours, couple days in, week out, what that looks like for leading that person. When should they be hitting emeralds? What kind of contact are you going to have with them? What kind of goals are you going to set for your new coaches? Having expectations for them, because they're totally new to this business and they're going to set their sights on what you lay out for them. And then my final thing that I want to end with is just timing. Finding, building, and keeping your dream team, it takes time. I once heard from a friend of mine that Amy Silverman had talked about, like that 3-year mark being kind of a sweet spot in your business. And I just kind of took that and I set those expectations like, Court, you're here to build a legacy. You're here to build a long-term income and a long-term business that you love, that gives you the things in your life that are most important to you: time, family, freedom, those things. Ministry opportunity. As a Christian, I wanted that platform to be able to share about my faith. And so it's important to understand that it takes consistency and it takes time. You can't come into this business and expect to find your dream team in the first month, in the first few months. Some people do, and that's amazing. I was one of those people that it took probably 1.5 years or 2 years to really find my leaders, to really find the girls that were my lifers, that are now running right next to me, that are making our team in the position that we're at this year, which is just so exciting. But it took time. I've been in this business for over 4 years. I had to grow. I had to be refined as a leader. I had to be humbled as a leader. I had to know that I didn't know everything, and I had to take on growth aspects. So if you guys are sitting there, I want you to apply these things, go through these exercises, write out that chart of who you were before and who you are now. And then I want you to commit your time and your energy to seeing your goals through, because if they were that important to you, you wouldn't care how long it took you to achieve them. You would keep running the race in front of you, and you would keep learning how to, like I'm a runner, so like how to surge forward and how to pace yourself and how to, like whatever, get through hills and go downhill and all those things. There's different transitional periods. There's different seasons. In order to find your dream team, You have to be able to walk through the ups and downs of this business with a consistent mindset that you're going to find them. Because I'll tell you what, it's kind of like kissing a lot of toads, right? Like I had to kiss a lot of toads to find those, like my people. And you know, once you find your people, it's worth that effort. It's worth going through the ups and downs of this business and trying different things out to figure out what your audience is going to gravitate towards. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Yes, Cherie is my OG. Rach, Liz, I love my team. They're the best. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave you on that. I cannot wait to see your screenshots below, and I will see you next time we chat.